Yeah, here we go. We've got it right up here. So
this is exactly how the game starts, by the way. There's no cutscene. There's no like intro exposition scene setting. It's exactly what you see when you start the game.
Okay, cool.
It just drops you right in.
So this is a thinking man's game. Let's take a look here.
We'll see if you can solve this one.
Okay.
It's pretty hard.
There we go. I did good.
Yeah.
So we've got these puzzles that we have to solve to progress into the game.
Yeah, so basically what's going on here is that you're in the tutorial. There's a non-verbal tutorial of the game. It's pretty short, but what it does is sort of introduces you to how the game works, like what the basic interaction is that is expected. Because this game is so different from a lot of games, right?
This game is beautiful, by the way.
Anytime you start up a game, you don't know what it is. And the goal of this area is to sort of show you what it is.
Yeah, yeah, you were talking about non-verbal tutorials. Is it challenging to create a gameplay experience that teaches someone how to play the game without directly saying, press X to do this, press...
Yeah, you know, it takes a little bit of care, but it doesn't seem too hard, actually. I think just people don't try it too often.
Oh, yeah?
Like modern games just love to give you instructions.
Okay, so I'm using the right stick. I think you can use, you can use either thumbstick on the DualShock 4 to move this small cursor throughout the puzzle and provide power to this cord, which goes over here.
So what this is sort of telling you is like, hey, pay attention to your environment. Like it doesn't instruct you exactly where to go, but this little cable lights up and you can follow it. And, you know.
Okay, cool.
You can follow it. You may choose not to.
Oh, here we go. So we'll start here. I feel like I'm being judged right now.
You're being watched by 10 billion people.
By the way, we are live on Twitch. We've got Twitch chat up here, so please do ask any questions. If you have any questions for John, please do put them in chat, and we'll grab a few to answer.
And so here, kind of this sequence of 3 puzzles is gradually
definitely
escalating you into more. It's not actually hard because there's only one thing to do, but well.
Oh, yeah, that didn't work.
But it's sort of, we're creating a little bit of ramp that goes from the extreme simplicity of that very first panel that was one line into what you'll be doing in the real game, which is like solving actual things that are hard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is actually your first public showing.
Yeah, we've never shown the game. I mean, we've shown little videos and stuff, but here at the PSX show, people are playing it live, which we've never done before.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what people say about it. I've played a couple earlier builds at press events, and I've been very impressed so far. Can you tell me a little bit about what has changed in the last few months since the last show?
Well, it's basically, we've had a playable game. The way that I like to develop things is keep them playable and just make them better.
Yeah.
So the game's been playable since 2011, actually.
Oh, wow.
It just looked really terrible. And we've been making it, we've been fleshing out the environments, and then just going into everything that we committed to and making sure every part of the game is as good as it can be. The game's got almost 700 puzzles. It's got probably between 30 and 40 hours of gameplay in it.
Oh, wow.
And so for a small indie team, that's a lot to handle, right? Like, you play a lot of games and you get to some part of the game and you're like, they didn't really finish this part. They rushed this part. We're making sure that doesn't happen. And so that's what we've been doing over the past few months. And we've got probably several months of that to go.
Okay, cool. So I can already tell that this is going to be really embarrassing.
Yeah, this one ain't hard, man. This is warm up.
Oh boy. I feel like I'm a lot better at games when I'm not being watched by the internet. This is terrible. Okay.
You can do it, Justin.
Let's go. I'm working backwards now. I'm doing it this way. Oh, okay. I see.
It's a real brain teaser.
So, John, while I'm doing this, why don't you take a look at Twitch chat and see if there are any questions?
There's lots of colorful comments in the chat.
Yeah, that tends to be the case. Here we go. Whew. All right, that was a workout.
So what you're basically doing here is you're gradually unlocking the door to get out, right?
Yeah.
You've got 2 of the 3 things open.
Yeah,
and
so
once
I
you
see
get the 3rd thing open, you're out of the tutorial and into the main game.
Ah,
right?
okay.
And then it gets real.
Oh boy, that's encouraging.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh, it goes over the wall. Okay.
Wow, the comments are going by so fast. I almost can't read them.
What game is this? This is The Witness,
Yes.
coming to PlayStation 4.
From where did I get this nice-looking coat? I don't want to advertise for a clothing manufacturer.
I love your coat, by the way.
It is.
Great.
It's pretty fly. It came from Germany.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Is there a...
you did something.
You got another one here?
Will the game be possible to beat for younger people? So here's the thing about puzzle games generally is, you know, video games have a history of being linear, right? Because they're story-based or whatever. And when you have hard puzzles in there, it tends to stop the game. So if you can't solve the puzzle, you can't go any further, right? So this game is designed to be a lot more non-linear than that.
Yeah.
So that you can sort of think of the location of this game as this island with 11 major areas. And you really only, to get to the end game and finish the game, you really only need to get 7 out of those 11 areas solved. And you can visit them in any order. But if you get all 11, then you get something special at the end. So, you know, there's allowance for multiple levels of skill and for different people getting stuck on different kinds of things. Oh yeah, here you go.
There we go. Okay.
Here you go. That's the first sort of actual kind of puzzle in the game, because the urge is to go to the first little exit there, which is the wrong cable.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Smart.
so here you go. So if you go left over to the force field there, this is all stuff you did. Yeah, so that'll be unlocked, and you can go do that panel and get out now.
Such a cool environmental design choice here too, with the like lattice gate over this. Okay. I did it.
Yay! So now once you get out here, so if you sort of run to the end of this trail, and you go up on those rocks, you can start to see the island out there. This is a full open world, so you can go anywhere. You can walk to that mountain in the distance and go up there. You can go to all those towers and buildings and stuff. So from this point on, the game is completely non-linear, and you can just go do whatever interests you.
Look at those reflections. Beautiful. So yeah, this game is non-linear, but you still, I think it's really incredible that you managed to still foster a sense of progression in the play.
Yeah, there's a lot of hinting about what you might do next, but if you don't want to do that next, right, you're just free to go do somewhere else. You know, you can come back to things that are here. You can,
okay.
yeah, just follow your whim.
That worked. And I'm using the shoulder buttons to navigate between these different panels. Okay. So my intuition is telling me that I need to keep the black dots separated from the white dots.
Yeah, so notice that what's happening here is you're confronted by some panels that have some symbols in them, and you don't really know what they mean, and you just sort of figure it out, right? You start with a very simple scenario, and it builds into something more complex.
Okay.
And by the time you get to the end of this row, a lot of ideas have been packed into this non-verbal thing.
I see.
People can follow along at home. Try to solve them before the host solves them.
Here we go. Let's have Twitch tell me which direction to go for each choice.
Yeah. Left, right, up.
Yeah, Twitch plays the witness. I wonder how well that would work. That's not right. Here we go. All right, so I'd like to talk about the audio design in the Witness a little bit. I remember way back when we first announced the Witness, you talked a little bit about putting a lot of effort into the sound design, the sound effects.
Yeah, so this game is inspired by older graphic adventures like Myst and those kind of games, and the early games of CD-ROM where you would wander around an environment. And for technological reasons back then, the environment would tend to be empty, like you're alone in this place. Now you don't have technological reasons to be alone, but I like that feeling. Like I'm alone in this space and everything is up to me. And so as an homage to that kind of game, we've built this entire space where you're the only person. And what that means is that there's not a lot of things making noise to entertain you, right? It's a quiet place. There's natural sounds. There's ambiances like echoes inside buildings and stuff, and there's your footsteps. And we have to make this rich sonic tapestry out of that small number of elements that reinforces the feeling of isolation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was I remember there being this really beautiful track in the reveal trailer that kind of played over the trailer. This song that, even though I only ever heard it in that trailer, it's been stuck in my head. Like when
it's
I was
a nice
preparing
song.
for this, it just came right back into
my head. That song is not in the game. We don't have a music track in the game. Well,
but it's a great song. Go back and watch it.
We may have one song in the game.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
But for the most part, it's more about the sense of isolation.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, so now we've got kind of a mirror image situation going on here. I have a feeling that's going to get a lot more difficult.
I'm trying to sift questions out of the chat. They just scroll by, man.
Someone gave you a Braid shout out, your earlier game.
Yeah, my last
title.
game is a game called Braid. It's a puzzle platformer. Seemed to be well received. This is a much bigger game than that. You know, Braid had about 70 puzzles, 4 to 5 hours of gameplay. And this one is around 700 puzzles.
Wow.
It's about 10 times as many as Braid. Some of them are a little easier because we're going for quicker bite-sized things sometimes. 40 hours, 30 to 40 hours, I think I said earlier. So it's really a much bigger project.
You know, a fun side effect of these puzzles is we're creating some really cool abstract art.
Yeah. So people are asking, oh, is this all you do? So let me talk about that for a second. So what's happening right now is we're toward the beginning of the game, and we've encountered a couple of ideas that are happening inside this panel interface, right? So the first ones were just like training, like, oh, you understand that panels lead to power cables that can turn on other things in the world. And here we've introduced this idea that like, oh, there can be a symmetric line that happens, and you have to sort of solve both sides at once. And as you venture through the world, the things that you encounter in these panels start becoming much more complicated and much more subtle and involve paying attention to clues in the world to understand what's happening. So you really can have, what we found in development is that you can have quite a rich breadth of things happening.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen some of the stuff a little bit further in, like maybe half an hour to 45 minutes in, and it progressively starts getting more and more like really interesting with the way you start interacting with the puzzles.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're getting ready to wrap up our gameplay session here, but John, I wanted to give you one more chance to speak to the audience, and if you have anything you want to say directly to them.
Hello, Cleveland.
Hello.
I don't know.
Play
what
the
do people
Witness.
want to know?
Where's your booth at?
My booth is over on the side. It's I-43 to 44 if you have the map.
Okay, we're pointing like the people.
Over there, everybody on Twitch.
Okay, so the Witness is coming to PlayStation 4. When are you talking about a release window? You have any idea?
Not that late in 2015, hopefully. Well, like I said, it's really a matter of when it's good. Like when we finish the game.
Well,
we're not
so
releasing
far.
on a date, right?
Okay,
so,
cool. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, this has been The Witness. I think we're getting ready to close up shop here.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, John, for
Thanks
joining
for
us. This has
having
been
me
a lot
here.
of fun.